Good morning, everybody. Bruce Serbone here with your Wednesday morning wake-up call. So glad you could join me this morning. I hope you're having a great day so far. I wanted to continue on with our dive into the 10 Commandments. And today we're going to go through the 10th commandment. Doesn't mean we're finished, but we're going to go through the 10th commandment today. And this is from Exodus 20, verse 17. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his manservant or maidservant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Now, this was a really important commandment for the Israelites to have, because as they were wandering the desert, it was going to be important that they not want to have what the others within the people already had. More importantly, as they were going to get into the promised land, it was going to be important that they were happy with what God was providing them already, and that they weren't going to desire what the pagans were going to have. God wants it that way for us now. God doesn't want us looking to other people's lives, to what other people have, to what other people do. He wants us to desire Him and desire His will. And so those good old sayings from the past, it's keeping up with the Joneses and the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, are there to remind us that we're not to desire anything else than what we have. God provides us with what we need for the gifts that we have to be able to take care of what He wants us to do with it. And we need to remember that. We need to remember that all we should do is just be content and joyful with what we have. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to be in that spot forever. It doesn't mean that we're going to get complacent with what we have. But just to be content, to be okay, to know that God's got us in a place right now that He needs us to be, so that we can grow and refresh and learn. And then He'll move us on to the next place. Paul said it this way in Philippians 4, verse 12. He says, I've learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. Paul knew that if he desired what God wanted, if he desired God's will for his life, that God would provide for him. Folks, it doesn't mean that it's going to be roses all the time. It certainly wasn't for Paul. And it's not going to be that way in our lives. And maybe we desire what other people have when we're not having those great times. That's certainly a struggle that I have on a regular basis. But we have to understand that where we are in life now is where God wants us. And if you're a believer, you've got to believe that that is where God wants you right now, based on what you're gifted with, what He's provided, and what He wants you to do with it. So refresh and renew and learn. Be content. It's not going to last forever. It's just a season. But I guarantee you, it's going to be way better than what your neighbor has. I love you, and God loves you. Have a great week.